All right, are we doing that part again?
No, I think
Our intro? Do you think that was... I said Jesus Murphy in it.
And I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's fun.
Okay. I like being fun. Okay. People are going to notice that we changed our background. If they care that much, then that's okay.
Do you know what? I would be elated if they had that level of observation.
That's fair.
Right off the hop.
This is true.
Super fans.
It's going to be me commenting in the comments. Wow,
well, you're a super fan.
I am a super fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our first full episode.
Yes.
What is our topic for today, Jen?
Our topic for today, I'm actually very excited about, is what are 3 pieces of advice that you would give to your younger self? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was very excited when you suggested this as a topic, especially for the first one, because I actually spend a lot of time with my niece, who is 15, and I'm lucky, I get to be the cool aunt. I am the cool aunt. So I get to give her a lot of advice. And she is me. She has ADHD. She is wild. She is who I was at 15 years old. So when I give her advice, it's like giving advice to my past self.
Wild.
And so it's pretty cool to
So this is
do that.
This is something you have some experience in.
Yeah. Well,
Time traveling.
That's it. I'm a time traveler.
Yeah.
I've mastered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 3 pieces of advice. I have 3 pieces of advice that I'm going to give my past self.
Yes.
We don't know what each other's advice is going to be.
Correct.
So I'm pretty excited to discover this because I feel like I'm going to learn some new things about you as well.
Same. And I think it's going to be interesting. I feel like because we have similar personalities, I'm very curious to see if there's going to be overlap. I think there might be some overlap.
Maybe.
But maybe not.
Maybe not.
We're going to learn about each other more too.
This hall pass, this is our permission to discover.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to go first or am I going to go first?
You're going to go first.
I'm going to go first. Okay. My first piece of advice that I would give my past self is that it doesn't matter what people think. And as kids, as young adults, we care a lot about what people think about us. And I am here to say that it doesn't matter. People are going to have their opinions, but their opinions, it doesn't matter. You will hit a point in your life where you will stop caring what other people think. And you might be lucky and you might be young. You might be a little bit older. For me, it was when I had my son. That was when I hit that point of just not caring and saying, I'm going to do me. I don't care about everybody else's opinions. We've all heard that saying, other people's opinion of you is not your business. And so, I think that for me, we all spend a lot of time worrying about what other people think about us. And it doesn't matter.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so that's going to very nicely dovetail into my first piece of advice.
Excellent.
Because you're talking about where to find validation, right? Self-validation.
Yes.
My piece of advice for young Brian is that confidence isn't a trait, it's a skill.
I like that.
And what I mean by that is I used to be the type of person that will run headfirst into things without preparation. I was an overly confident kid, right? But that overconfidence certainly masked a lack of self-esteem, right? And the way you build that actual true confidence, actual true self-esteem is by practice and exercising that muscle.
Yep.
And learning that you might not necessarily always know the answer, but oftentimes you have a process or a system or a roadmap and that you can trust the process, right?
Yeah.
And as you start to feel successful, as you start to see those wins, as they pile up bit by bit by bit, as the Lego blocks get built up, that's where confidence, true confidence actually develops.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. And I do think that plays into to what I said, like you said, as you know, I spent a lot of time as an overconfident teen, and you know, we see it often with what we do, and it's a defense mechanism. And for me, it was absolutely a defense mechanism because I cared so deeply about what other people thought about me, and so I'm going to be loud and vivacious, and I would rather do all of that and be over the top than have somebody know who I actually am, because what if they don't like me? What if I'm not good enough?
It's less stressful when you let that go.
It really is.
Yeah.
So much less stressful because you just get to do you. You just like, you do you.
Speaking of you doing you.
Second piece of advice.
Second piece of advice, Fred.
Second piece of advice is ask for help. It's okay to not know how to do everything and to do everything on your own. And I spent a lot of time trying to do everything on my own. And I wish I had asked for help. And it goes back to even just math was hard. And I thought I had to figure it out on my own. And I did not figure it out on my own. And I think had I had support, had I gone and taken so you know, the support that was offered to me, you know, whether it was extra help from friends, going to see a teacher, or whatever, I was like, nope, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And so thinking I had to do everything on my own and not asking for help, or if someone offers help, saying, nope, it's okay, I've got it. If you need help, just say yes.
And that, like,
I would love some help.
Ramped up anxiety that you build
Yes.
because you feel like, you know, a parent or a teacher or someone in authority is asking me a question, so it's expected that I know how to do this.
Exactly.
And that's not what they're asking, right? Because they're asking you to work through the problem and work through the process so you can arrive at an answer.
Exactly.
But it's stressful when you feel like you have to carry that burden on your own.
Absolutely. And one thing I've really learned is it's okay not to know.
Oh, absolutely.
It is okay and can be celebrated. It is okay not to know. That's my tagline for this is the framers. It's okay not to know. I will say that to kids all the time. I say that to my son all the time. I don't know. Let's figure that out.
Yeah. We're in the business of modeling not knowing and then how to go about learning.
That's it. It's great skills you learn when you admit you don't know,
Yeah.
and then work to find an answer and
Love
learn
it.
from people around you.
Love that. Again, I think that connects so nicely into my next piece of advice, which is failure is not final. It's feedback.
Love that.
Yeah. One skill that I learned how to do eventually, but I wish I learned how to do earlier in school, was knowing how to do a debrief or a postmortem on a test or an exam, and finding it a useful tool to let me know, what I know, what I excelled at, but also what I don't know, and not to feel bad about not knowing something, because you shouldn't ever feel bad about getting a question wrong on a test if you don't know. That's okay. That's
Yes.
that's perfectly fine.
It's a learning opportunity.
Right? But also, was there strategies that I could have used to take this test? What was effective? What was not effective? How did I prepare? And then when I translate into going into business, man, you fail all the time.
Oh gosh. Yes.
All
the time.
All the time, right? Like you could have the best laid plan. You can have that business plan that's rock solid, that marketing plan that's like locked in, and then a staff member quits, or you have an international pandemic.
Yep.
Right? And that doesn't necessarily mean that you failed, right?
Yep.
It's just a point in time that you can move past. But the important thing is that you make sure that you use it as an opportunity to receive feedback and learn from
Yep.
these points in time.
Yeah. Because if you don't learn anything from it, then what's the point?
That's the point, right? But you also have to have the self-confidence and self-esteem to be comfortable knowing that you may have made a mistake or you may have failed, but that doesn't mean that you're the mistake or that
Yes.
you're the failure.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I spent a lot of time in my teen years and in my early adulthood thinking that a lot of what I viewed as character traits were failures on my part. And this is something that we will get into, is my diagnosis, my late adult diagnosis of ADHD. So I'm not going to dive too far into it right now, but it goes along with that, in that I thought that my inability to plan ahead, my tendency to be really impulsive, to, struggle with executive functioning skills in general, made me lazy, made me incapable, and that I was the person, like, I am lazy.
Yeah, and then you
I
just
am not
beat
able.
yourself up over something that's
Over and
it's
over
not
and over
fair
again.
to yourself.
Exactly. And, how did I fail this test? I was very much a black and white thinker. I either wanted an A or I wanted a D. I did not want a B or a C because those were It had to be perfect or failure. And so, not that a D is a fail, but, it's for me, it was one or the other. And so as an adult, getting this diagnosis for me was very like, oh, it's not you, it's the way you're wired. And so it was a really good opportunity to develop strategies and to learn from failures and say, oh, okay, so I just need to figure out how to do this differently in a way that works for me. So I think that's a really key point, is recognizing that you are not the failure because you failed a test. It's just a stepping point for what's next. I love that.
I'm sure we'll have a future episode all about failure because I have
yes.
lots of thoughts about it.
I have lots of examples.
Me too.
Multitude of examples, yes.
Could you give us an example of your third piece of advice?
Yes. An example. You want an example rather than just the advice?
No,
Are you...
I was trying to
Pour one out on me.
segue. I was trying to be slick.
I
This
like
is my
it.
first
Okay.
episode.
This
so
is. I am that black and white thinking, like, we didn't prepare for this. Well, my third piece of advice really is that there is space for everybody. This is a very big world, and there is space for everyone in it, for everyone to do what they want to do. There is space for more than one person to be successful. Being competitive and having a competitive edge is not a bad thing. I am a very competitive person. You play a board game with me, I want to win. I'm going to get mad if you're not taking your turn fast enough. That's, the competitive
you and I
edge
would
in
be
me.
terrible playing board games.
Are you that person who's like spacing out when it's time?
I could care less about the rules.
Oh.
I'm there for the social aspect. I don't really,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe an episode would be just you and I playing
Yeah. I would need to mentally...
Settlers of Catan and
Yes.
me getting zoned out and you getting frustrated.
Going, it's your turn. I would need to mentally prepare for it and have some self-talk ahead of time, for sure.
Yeah.
But so I think that being competitive in certain areas, there's nothing wrong with being competitive, but not to the point where it's you or somebody else in a way that is going to be detrimental necessarily to somebody else.
It's not a zero-sum game.
It's not.
Yeah.
And so I think, there's space for other people, even in the supplemental education space. We don't want competition. We want to have everybody love our program, but you know what? There's space and there's certain things that are going to fit certain people better, and we have to be okay with that. And so there's space to wish success for other people doing what we're doing in a different way.
When I meet with parents, oftentimes, because I talk about our competitors, right? And there's plenty, and we at our center and all our competitors all want the same thing.
Yes.
We all want to see kids succeed. We all want to
Exactly.
see them thrive. We have our own niche that focuses very much on cognition development, right? As opposed to something like rote learning, for example. But yes, we're in business competition with each other, but we're all rowing in the same direction. We all have the
Exactly.
same macro goal, right?
Exactly.
And, I happen to believe very strongly in our methodology and our programming.
Same.
But I also recognize that there is space for other, having a niche
Yes.
is what defines you. You can't be all things to all people
Exactly.
at all times.
And that plays
That's a fool's errand.
Yes, and that plays into sort of that second part of mine is, it's not just space for everybody who's doing what you're doing, but there's space for people to do other things and have their own niche. You like scuba diving. I like roller coasters. We had this conversation the other day. You will never catch me in the ocean. The ocean is terrifying. There are scary things down there that can
Parts
eat
of it
you.
move.
It's horrifying to me. But I love a good roller coaster. And will I ever find you on a roller coaster?
Oh no, they terrify the hell out of me.
And that's it. So if everybody wanted to scuba dive, there would be no room in the ocean. If everybody wanted to go on the roller coaster, we'd all be waiting forever.
3 times as long.
That's it. So, as a kid, we spend a ton of time judging other kids. Like, oh, you're wearing sweatpants. You're into, magic, whatever. Like, cool. As an adult,
Magic's super cool. Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? Like, as an adult, I'm like, all the things that I thought were nerdy, I'm like totally into. But it's just because somebody doesn't like the same thing as you doesn't make it less valuable, doesn't make them less valuable. There is space for everyone to like their things. That's what makes the world interesting. So if you don't like it, don't look, don't do it. Keep scrolling. There's space for everybody to do their thing. You do you. That's it.
Love it.
All right.
Last one.
That's Jesse. What's your number 3?
Number 3.
We got to finish strong. You've got to make this a good
Pressure's
one.
on. So memorization is great, but curiosity takes you further.
Yes.
Right. I was the type of kid that school came really easy to me, and I didn't have to really work hard to do well.
Yep.
Right. I could sit in a class, and you're going to hate this with your ADHD diagnosis. I could sit in the class, hear something, and retain it.
Yeah, that makes me jealous,
right?
For sure.
So recalling information was so simple for me that I never really had to exercise certain muscles when it comes to learning how to study and how to organize. And I was able to coast intuitively until I got to university, and I just hit that wall where all of a sudden my intuition wasn't enough, and I needed some structure, some plans.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that there's a lot of power in learning how to ask questions and learning how to go and find information.
Yes.
Right? And to be curious. And as soon as you start exercising that skill, for me, it wasn't just you're able to hear and retain information. I started hearing what people were actually communicating and saying, and listening to them. And then I started learning more.
Yeah.
I started to truly get interested into what motivates people, the reasons behind their thought processes or rhetoric, and it's something that has lived with me ever since, right?
Yeah.
It opens a lot of doors when you learn how to ask questions and you learn how to listen.
Yes. And I think that this is something that I've had to work on, but listening for listening and not just listening to respond.
Hearing and listening are 2 different things.
Very different things. And so listening so that you can ask the appropriate questions and so that you can learn from it. And it makes learning more fun. It gives you that reason behind it, right?
It makes you an active participant.
Yes.
Right? Instead of just going and letting something wash over you and then going later on and regurgitating it out.
Exactly.
It allows you to be engaged and think, does this make sense? Does this jive with my worldview? Does it challenge my worldview? Is there something that, is this new piece of information changing how I see the person I'm interacting with or the way that I see the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nice. If only our younger selves could have heard it and listened. And
Yeah. The listening part would be the key part there. Yeah.
The key. And that is, as I kind of bringing it back to those conversations with my niece, you know, one thing that I said to her is, I know that everything that's happening in your world right now feels really big. And when you're old like me, you're going to look back and go, oh, it wasn't that big. But I'm not going to sit here and give advice or feedback or listen to what she's telling me from the perspective of an adult where I can say, oh, it's no big deal. Because for these kids, whether they're kids, like whether it's my niece, whether it's kids in our center, whether it's kids in your classroom, these little issues that seem little to us, somebody didn't want to play with me at recess, whatever, you know, they're big issues for them. And so it's their whole world. And so, you know, to give advice, to do that kind of thing, to impart this stuff, I think a big part is seeing it from that worldview and knowing that we weren't going to listen to ourselves. If we could figure out time traveling, you know, how did that just circle back so nicely right there? The time traveling, right? But if I was an actual time traveler, would I have listened to myself?
That's that's going to bake my noodle.
Right?
Yeah.
Would I have listened? Maybe, but I think that experience and getting old is part of it.
Well, I think that this is a good place to stop.
I think so.
Any housekeeping, anything that we need to talk about before we sign off?
Do we have to do the give us a follow?
An update?
Do all of the things to help us grow and do this. We want to, you know, get as many people listening to us as possible.
Yeah.
Hopefully we've been entertaining,
educational.
Hopefully we've imparted something to everybody.
The world's a better place after this 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know how long it's been.
I don't know, but you know, hopefully that's the case. Yeah.
Right.
If you stuck it out, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.